Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take you on a journey through Rainbow Six Siege. So bear with me. My brother, I asked him politely to be quiet, but I don't think he is going to. So I apologize in advance if he is uh in your audio. You shouldn't be too loud, but you may be able to hear him. So some of you guys know that Rainbow Six Siege recently they recently came out with some anti-cheat stuff, some anti-cheat next steps, as they call it. And in these anti-cheat next steps, buried deep in there, it says very clearly, putting a restriction on skill gap in parties when queuing into ranked. Now, some of you guys may be asking yourself, what does this mean? This means that if you have a bronze and you want to queue, you're a plat maybe, and you want to queue with your bronze friend who just got the game. You may not be able to do that because there's restriction on skill gap. And they're not very straightforward with this. They're not saying, "Hey, a copper can't play with diamond." But that's it. It's very loose terms right now. So So this means I'm trying to get this video into Siege's eyes, into their ears, so that they can listen to my side and to my story and hopefully reconsider the choice that they are making with this. Some of you may be asking yourself, why does this matter? I'll tell you why it matters. Well, first off, I am a hardcore Siege player. I've played the game since Operation Red Crow came out, and I'm not super good at the game, but I play it a lot. My playtime, that's not very accurate. My playtime, I don't know where it's getting that from. I play almost every day, or and every time I do play, I play it for at least an hour or two. I main Valk. Second to that's Thermite. I don't really have a huge attack main, so I kind of split it up a bit between attack. I also play PC. I play less. You can see this playtime's pretty accurate. It just falls off. I really don't play PC much. Um, but let's get back to Rainbow Six Siege. To Rainbow Six Siege cheat, the changes, the next steps. Some of you may remember. Some of you may have played Siege back late 2017. Recording this video in July of 2018. So it's almost a year ago, a little less, maybe 9 months ago. They had peen abusers. Siege had peen abusers. There were people who would play, maybe from Europe, and connect to American servers, and it would give them an unfair advantage. It would give them a high ping between maybe 150, about 300, and it gave them peeker's advantage when they peeked around a corner. And so they implemented a change. And basically, what that change is instead of the person peeking having the advantage, it's the person getting peeked. So basically, if you have lag, it makes the game harder for you, not easier. Now, most of you just play with friends from around home. But I happened to have a friend, an Australian friend, a couple Australian friends, which this severely impacted our gameplay. We used to play ranked together. After that change, I understand why the change was implemented, and for the most part, I agree with that change. You have to choose: does the victim or does the abuser get the privilege? And they chose the victim because at the end of the day, if you have a bad ping, that's your fault, and you're gonna have to deal with the consequences of that. So this impacted my gameplay with my friend, but it has a valid reason, and there's no workaround. There's no way to really fix it. Now this video right here is a demonstration of what would have happened. Kind of something that you would see a lot of back in the day, back when you were playing Siege. You could just shoot someone like that and they would die. So this restriction on skill gap, right? Why is it so bad? Well,
What's up guys, Rogue9 here.
sorry for that, I apologize. I did not realize the video was going to autoplay into the next video. So, we were at anti-cheat. We were getting back to anti-cheat and why this restriction was so, or is going to be so bad. Right. So this will take you back to the beginning of Siege. This is the graph of overall playtime for Siege, Rainbow Six Siege, since it came out. Now when Siege came out, it had a very low player base, right? But what it managed to do is it managed to grow its player base. Now you may be asking, how did Siege, how does a game grow over time? Because a game like Call of Duty dies. A game like Siege grows. What did they do differently? They did one very simple thing. They did not split the player base. You see, a game like Call of Duty has a season pass with different DLC packs that come out for the next year. And if you don't buy those DLC packs, you cannot play with your friends that have. You cannot play those same maps. It fractures the player base. You have 10,000 people that play these maps, 5,000 over here, smaller, smaller, smaller. It creates divisions, and you don't want divisions. So Siege released everything for free. So if you buy the game, you can do everything. You own the entire game. You can do everything with your friends, no extra money. You have to pitch in. Nothing that will stop you from playing with your friends. And Siege is a very tactical game. So that makes sense. But Siege is fracturing its player base. Siege is fracturing its player base with this new thing, this new MMR that they are coming out with. It's going to turn into something like COD. Not at first, but it will not help the player base. Not allowing you to play with your friend is going to hurt this game. It's not going to do anything good for this game. They make the argument that it is for cheating. Does Siege know how their own MMR score works? Does Siege know this? Let me show you this clip from Rogue9. He explains it very well.
This means, for example, that if a group of 5 friends play together from the beginning of a season and they only play ranked games in the same 5-man squad for the entire season and never play with anyone else, their MMR scores will always be exactly the same, even if one of them is a very new player and only gets a KD of, I don't know, 0.5 every match, and one is very experienced and carries almost every game.
Let that sink in for a minute. The MMR is not a true replication of your skill in Rainbow Six Siege. So, how does allowing a ban against MMR gaps in ranked going to do anything beneficial for Siege? MMR is a very loose thing as it is. MMR is based, it says in the description here, Microsoft TrueSkill. That came out in the early 2000s. It's a combination of something that they used to rank chess players and something that they developed to add into TrueSkill, I think. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't actually looked that up, but I know the chess. I know the chess part. I'm not sure about the other part. This is what a graph looks like. This would be your number, your MMR, and depending on how wide it is how much certainty it has that you are right there. Based on how many games you play, it kind of zeroes in on it. That means when you load into a game, when you load into a ranked game, it goes, this person is 2,000, this person is 3,000, and this person's 5,000. And the other team, it's like 5,000, 4,000, 5,000. And it goes, okay, I think 545 is going to win because their MMRs are higher. So if I forget the numbers, 234 or 245, whatever I used, wins, their MMR, their number that they get is bigger because it's unexpected. So you're taking something that doesn't truly represent skill. It represents a team skill, not a personal skill. Treating it as if it's a personal skill. And then you're going to say that this personal skill, quote unquote, personal skill, dictates whether you can play with your friend or not. That's not good. And I have a solution. So, Siege, when it loads you up, it should, instead of just doing whatever it does to find you opponents, it should find you opponents. So say your team has 3 golds and 2 silvers. It should load you into a game against 3 golds and 2 silvers. Maybe more specific, 3 gold ones and 2 silver ones, and then against 3 gold ones, 2 silver ones. I understand that there's not a ton of people playing ranked, and this will hurt load times a bit. But it should try and be closer. Not exactly, but closer. It should represent each individual player on the team versus the whole team as a whole. Another thing, with the MMR, the way it is right now, is that really hurting the team? Well, it is. But if you have these implementations, these changes I am suggesting, it won't. Because then that difference in score is accounted for. And if you account for that difference in score, there actually isn't a difference in score. So now you have people that can play with each other, and you have people that are getting ranked into fairer games. That means that you're not getting ranked against a harder team, and everybody's going to be a little happier. It's going to be more fair. There's no separation, and it's going to be more fun. So why do you not want to implement these changes? Have you not thought about this, Rainbow Six Siege? Have you just had ranked say it's been beta for so long without actually tweaking your algorithm very much? Because the Microsoft True Skill algorithm is something, it's something that you rent out. So why don't you develop your own algorithm or take True Skill but then overlay something on top of it to make it more fair? I have friends that I want to be able to play with, but if you implement this, you are going to make it so I cannot play with my friends. And if you do that, I am not playing your game. Thank you.